This is Radio Nepal. I'm Dila Prasai with the news. The headlines first. Meeting of Seat Allocation Task Force of Ruling Alliance discusses seat sharing in federal and provincial elections. Prime Minister Sherbahadur Deuba says government is committed to securing rights of indigenous people as enshrined in Constitution. Home Ministry directs officials not to issue any citizenship certificate bearing derogatory names. And United States to provide $1 billion in military and financial aid to Ukraine. Now the news in detail. The ruling coalition parties have begun to put forth their views in the meeting of the Seat Allocation Task Force formed to develop a framework for an electoral alliance in the upcoming federal and provincial elections. Member of the Seat Allocation Task Force and Communication Minister Gyanendra Bahadur Karki said the task force members expressed their political parties' views regarding electoral alliance and discussion would be continued in upcoming meetings to draw conclusions. Similarly, the meeting of the task force has elected Nepali Congress leader Krishna Prasad Sitola as its coordinator. In response to the media person's query in regard with the Democratic Socialist Party's participation in the government, Minister Karki said the discussion was being held at top level of the political leadership. Prime Minister Sherbahadur Deuba has said the incumbent government is proactive for the rights and interests of the indigenous people as guaranteed by the Constitution. Inaugurating a function in Kathmandu yesterday on the occasion of the International Day of the World's Indigenous People, the Prime Minister stated that the government was doing plenty of things for the greater good of the indigenous nationalities. The Home Ministry has directed the bodies concerned not to issue citizenship certificate with names and castes that are defamatory. Issuing a press release on Monday, Ministry spokesperson Phanindramani Pokhrel said the Ministry's attention has been drawn towards the news and reports published regarding the issue of citizenship certificate issued in different districts, including derogatory terms. The Ministry also asked the bodies concerned to make arrangements for correction by fulfilling the due process if the concerned individual requests for the same. Foreign Affairs Minister Dr. Narayan Khadka is leaving for China today on a 3-day official visit at the invitation of his Chinese counterpart Wang Yi. Minister Khadka and Minister Wang are expected to hold discussions on a wide range of topics during the visit. Kaushal Ghimire brings more in this report.
The Minister for Foreign Affairs, Dr. Narayan Khadka, is embarking on an official visit to China on Tuesday at the invitation of Chinese State Councillor and Foreign Affairs Minister Wang Yi. While in China, Minister Khadka and his Chinese counterpart Wang will hold a bilateral meeting in the Chinese city of Qingdao on Wednesday, leading their respective delegations. Foreign affairs expert Dr. Dinesh Bhattarai says the bilateral meeting between the two ministers is likely to focus on issues such as the status of different ongoing Chinese infrastructure development projects in Nepal, Nepal's trade deficit with China, people-to-people relations between the two countries, and China's increased concerns in regards to the changed geopolitical condition.
Our foreign minister is visiting China and having talked with his counterpart on bilateral relations. I think they will also cover the status of ongoing projects. Those projects agreed in the past but have not been put into implementation. Of course, the people-to-people relation is another dynamics of Nepal-China relations. There is a trade issue. The trade deficit is ballooning, is increasing day by day. I think it's soon going to be unsustainable. All these issues of our concern, I think, will be covered in bilateral talks. And China, on their part, also will present their views, their position. And it is likely that the latest geopolitical developments also may figure in talks.
Dr. Bhattarai also said such high-level exchanges had been a tradition of Nepali diplomacy.
So the visit is taking place after some time, after some gap. So it is positive, and exchange of visits has been a part of our tradition in bilateral relations.
According to the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, Chinese Minister Wang will be hosting a state banquet in honor of Minister Kharka on Wednesday. Minister Kharka and his delegation will return home on Thursday. Kaushal Gimire, Radio Nepal, Kathmandu.
CPN-UML Chairman KP Sharma Oli has said that the government needs to hold dialogue with neighbouring country India to resolve the flood and inundation problems in Tarai districts. Addressing the mass assembly of CPN-UML at Gaur of Rohtahat yesterday, Chairman Oli directed the party cadres to unite for the preparations of the election. The Ministry of Health and Population has reported 934 new cases of COVID-19 in Nepal in the past 24 hours. According to the ministry, the cases were confirmed while testing nearly 5,351 samples. Similarly, 470 people recovered from the virus infection yesterday. Meanwhile, one person succumbed to the virus infection yesterday itself. The Election Commission has made public the work list for the upcoming federal and provincial assembly elections. As per the work list, candidacy for the direct electoral system will be filed on October 9. Chief Election Commissioner Dinesh Kumar Thapalia said the Commission approved the election work list for the management of upcoming federal and provincial assembly elections. Minister for Forest and Environment Pradeep Yadav has expressed his commitment to liberate Nepal from plastic pollution at a workshop organized by the South Asia Cooperative Environment Programme to free the rivers and seas of South Asian countries from plastic pollution. Minister Yadav said he was effortful to free Nepal from plastic pollution. He informed that the ministry had issued a directive to strictly implement the ban of plastic having breadth below 40 micron. A bus carrying pilgrims from Doleshwar Mahadev Temple of Sipadol at Surya Binayak Municipality 8 in Bhaktapur district met with an accident yesterday, leaving 14 people injured. Deputy Superintendent of Police DSP of Metropolitan Police Range Bhaktapur Raju Pandya said the bus met with an accident while returning to Bhaktapur from Doleshwar Temple. You are listening to Radio Nepal 8 AM English News Bulletin. We continue with the international updates now. The United States has decided to provide Ukraine with additional military aid worth $1 billion to purchase rockets, ammunition and advanced weapons. This is the largest military aid ever provided by the United States Department of Defense to Ukraine. The latest aid will go from the U.S. Department of Defense directly to the Ukrainian government. Earlier, such aid was channeled through NATO and the European Union. According to BBC, this military aid also includes financial aid. According to the Pentagon, the financial assistance will be spent on social institutions like schools, hospitals, pensions and purchasing basic essentials. Now the general weather forecast for the country for today. Forecasting Division says the weather is likely to be generally cloudy in the hilly regions of the country and partly to generally cloudy in the rest of the country. Light to moderate rain with thunder and lightning is likely to occur at some places in Province 1 and Bagmati Province and at a few places in the rest of the provinces. Kathmandu's weather report now. Maximum temperature of 31.5 degrees Celsius and minimum temperature of 20.3 degrees Celsius. With this news, we have come to the end of this bulletin, but before we wrap up the headlines once again. Meeting of Seat Allocation Task Force of Ruling Alliance discussed seat sharing in federal and provincial elections. Prime Minister Sherbahadur Deuba says government is committed to securing rights of indigenous people as enshrined in Constitution. Home Ministry directs officials not to issue any citizenship certificate bearing derogatory names, and United States to provide $1 billion in military and financial aid to Ukraine. Well, that's all that we have for this edition. Our next English news edition is at 2 in the afternoon. You can also listen to us online at our website www.radionepal.gov.np for more news and online programs. Stay tuned, stay safe and have a good day.